covered in dust, a time capsule of lost days, black and white tales of love and trust, stories that never fade away. Each photo a window to the past, a silent movie my heart can hear, whispers of dreams that didn't last, frozen smiles and hidden tears, captured moments in a flash of light, incredible history in every frame, silent witnesses to wrong and right, keepsakes of joy and pain. See the laughter in their eyes, feel the timeless raw emotion. They're a bridge to old goodbyes, an endless sea of human oceans. How they danced in the moon's glow, how they wept in the rain, and these silent guardians show life's constant joy and pain, captured moments in a flash of light, incredible history in every frame, silent witnesses to wrong and right, keepsakes of joy and pain. How they danced in the moon's glow, how they wept in the rain, these silent guardians show life's constant joy and pain.
My mirror shows a younger face. In my heart there's crowded space, memories I can't replace, time's old spin, a cruel embrace. Photographs in dusty frames, whisper names like old refrains, lonely echoes of my claims, locked in past I play these games, living in the shadows of yesterday. Close my eyes, it all just fades away. Can't escape the ghosts that want to stay in this heart forever.
Yesterday's whispers in the morning breeze, carrying secrets only hearts can seize. Echoes fading like a memory's tease. Fleeting moments we struggle to appease.
Soft as a sigh on a rainy night. Dreams we had now out of sight. Shadows dancing in pale moonlight. Whispers of love never felt so right.
Come back to me, the whispers say. Promises made in dawn's early gray. In the quiet of a brand new day.
Yesterday's whispers refuse to sway. Caught in the net of a fleeting glance. Yesterday's